Fox News didn't fact check him, and of course WAPO and those people won't. We've decided to do it for you, and I want to keep this relatively short just because there's so much that you could get into. So let's do this. Let's set a timer. Okay, hit it. Set the timer. Let's go through the specifics of their claims versus the truth. All references are available at louderwithcreditor.com. Here is the walking haircut himself with his first claim that California is outpacing Florida and Texas as it relates to the economy.
In 2021, California had 7.8% of GDP growth in this country, one of the fastest growing economies anywhere on planet Earth. This state continues to be the tentpole of the American economy. 25.6% of all American jobs came from this state in April. In the last 2 fiscal years, we enjoyed $177.7 billion in operating surpluses. We're on our way to be the fourth largest economy. Eat your heart out, Germany, in the world. Number one in R&D, venture capital, more scientists, researchers, more Nobel laureates, more patents emanating out of this state than any other state in America. Wrong. With all due respect, Florida doesn't even come close. Eat your heart out, Texas.
Okay, he likes to use that phrase, eat your heart out, California, eat your heart out, Germany. They eat hearts. Eat your heart out, Texas.
Spirit cookie.
So he listed it, but he also, by the way, forgot California, number one in shopping. All right.
Must have been a sale.
Yeah, $996 sale marked down to zero.
I got a coupon.
Yes. Okay, here's the truth. Since this walking haircut loves the ranking so much. Right? He talks about the rankings. We're ranked number. Okay. California is one of the worst states to do business in. So he says ranked number one. Turns out it's more like 31.
Oh.
Yeah. 31, 31st as it relates to states, for business, being business friendly. Florida's number 5. Texas is number 2. Now, that's a generalized kind of index that would talk about, would discuss taxes, employment opportunities, cost of living. Okay. So there you go. It's number 31. Here's another truth while we're talking about the economy. California, this is an important indicator of economic health, has a budget deficit, $32 billion deficit.
That's a lot.
Florida has a $21 billion surplus. Texas has a $32 billion surplus. Okay. Truth number 3. When he talks about Florida, he says they can eat their heart out. How about they just eat your lunch? Florida outpaced California in business growth year over year consistently. Let's look at California. We're talking about businesses here. 43,163 for business applications. Florida, 58,260. And California has almost twice the population of Florida. Wow. Smash the rumble button if you want more of this. We're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I don't plan on stopping. Let's go to claim number 2 from this walking coat rack, where he says that Biden created the most jobs of any president ever. We went through this last week, but we'll give you a refresher.
Your president, Donald Trump, lost 2.6 million jobs during his 4 years. We've created 13.1 million. Fine, you can maintain a COVID frame. How about the fact that Joe Biden's created more jobs, 6 times more jobs than the previous 3 Republican presidents combined?
Okay, this is what bothers me about Fox News not being able to fact check it in real time. This is very, very simple to debunk. We did it in depth last week. If you're not prepared for this talking point, you're not prepared for any talking point. Here's the truth. The average monthly job creation, if you're comparing Donald Trump to Joe Biden, let's take away COVID, by the way, for both of them. Donald Trump was 183,000 a month. Biden was 147,000 jobs a month. Let's look at the same stats, but private sector, because it's really easy to tax people an astronomical amount and then use them to pay other employees, like adding, 80,000 IRS agents. Sorry, employees. I don't want to be fact-checked. Right, Snopes? I know you guys are ready at the button right here. I don't know what you're doing with the governor of California. Let's look at private sector jobs. Trump, 163,000 a month. Biden, 113,000 jobs per month. And if you compare COVID months to COVID months after the recovery, it's still not even close. Any questions? Good. Let's move on to bullshit claim number 3 from this walking jail helmet. He says, this is what they'll do a lot. Bernie Sanders would try and do this. It's a lie. Inflation. Well, inflation isn't. Remember they said inflation is not as bad as you think it is?
It's true.
Then they said, well, actually, inflation's a good thing. And they said, hey, we've gotten inflation under control. Well, why would you want a good thing under control? It's a good thing. Let it run rampant like your wildfires. He says inflation is actually a problem all over the world, not just the United States.
Question. I'm answering the ones in order. You brought up the economy. On the economy, let's talk about the economy.
You want to give him an A?
Inflation. Stubborn around the globe. Let's talk about inflation. It's down 40% since last summer, 10 months in a row, 4.9%. He was just with the UK Prime Minister at 6.9%. Is that because of Biden's?
I think
Fed
Biden's
policy?
Okay, all right. Here's the truth. Now, He went to the UK for a very specific reason. Mm-hmm. Because it's the only other one, just to be clear, when you look across the globe, okay? Here's the truth. The United States has the second highest inflation when you're talking about, in relation to G7 countries, when food and fuel are excluded. Why? Because fuel, right, you're dealing with countries over there, in Europe, even Asia, as it deals with Russia. So when you exclude that, you're trying to compare apples to apples. The UK has 4.83% inflation. United States, 4.68. Canada, 4.1. Japan, 1.67. It is not true that it's higher everywhere else. It's only higher in the UK. It's the only place, to be clear, when we're talking about first world countries, yes, which, by the way, they say all cultures are equal, but then when they use gun statistics or they try and use inflation, they say, well, we can't include third world countries. Sounds to me like you're racist.
And by the way, just to answer his question, yes, when the United States has high inflation, it has ripple effects throughout the world. So Joe Biden's policies, yes, have damaged the rest of the world.
Yeah, if the pace car is on fire, it tends to affect those behind it.
It does, yeah, a little smoke.
Here's another truth that he doesn't want you to investigate, okay? You need some scale because a number doesn't just exist in a vacuum. He's hoping that the right hand knows not what the left hand is doing. Inflation here has ballooned under Biden specifically. We can compare the United States to other countries, not just the UK. We can also compare the United States, our inflation, to what we were experiencing prior and historically. So under Biden, at least 5% every single month since May 2021. I know a report just came out today where it's slightly under 5%, but I believe that those numbers have been tweaked. Also, inflation could actually be assumed to be somewhere around 17%, meaning if you were to go back to the Carter era, we might actually have had we had higher inflation because we dropped the housing prices from the Consumer Price Index, I believe, 1983. Somewhere in the 80s, the references are available at lighterwithcrowder.com.
Largest expense out there for any home, family, anything like that. Yeah, but we don't need to count that because when that goes, it doesn't affect anybody at all.
So he said, inflation. No, inflation is worse here than in other countries, and inflation is worse here than it has been in this country historically and up until the moment your prick friend took office. I'm done with this guy. You can hit the timer. There you go. That's 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Every single thing he said was an outright lie or directly misleading. You don't need to fear guys like this. Make him check his closet for you.
I love it.
And by the way, he wants to take his version of California nationwide. This is the issue, right? In summary, I'm getting very near the end of this now. What happens is you want to know what it is that they want. Look at California. And here's something else. People in California know it's not true. When the media and this is the silver lining, when the media and these politicians are saying things that the average American knows is not the case, even people who are not Trump voters, even people who think that DeSantis is a grand wizard of the KKK, wait till those people actually find out who ran the KKK. Right? Even those people know, well, hold on a second, people are making less, they're working more jobs, and the economy is not great, and inflation is terrible. Everyone knows that. This is how you end up with a revolt. The good news is it can be a cultural revolt and a political revolt. It doesn't have to be like some crappy third world South American country where it's some military coup. That's what happens when your leaders are lying and everyone is living the truth.
That's why so many people are leaving his state.
Yes.
First time since, 1850?
Do you have any idea?
That a state's population...
Like Tesla left, right?
Yeah.
We left, Ben Shapiro left, Joe Rogan left.
Everybody's leaving.
Its importance is leaving.
It's taxes, it's EPA regulations, it's not being business friendly, it's sanctuary cities. It's just they're taking money and throwing it at problems that they're never going to solve.
And that's hard to do. Because
is.
California has all of the natural resources.
They've got everything.
It's beautiful. Women in bathing suits all the time.
The beach, they've got skiing, they've got Napa Valley. They used to have very nice cities with cool architecture. They were a little bit difficult at times, but still nice enough.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Now it's
wants to go
nothing
to
but
San Francisco
inflation.
now.
It's inflation and hobo poop.
It is.
When I came out here years ago when I was in the Marine Corps, I was here 3 months. I was in San Diego. I was going to work. I was a Lance Corporal, and I was driving, and then this guy pulls out and hits me. I was just driving down the street, and he was sitting there. And I say, I need your insurance. You hit me. He's like, sorry, sir, no speaker English. I hadn't been in California 3 months. I just got stationed there. And I was like... Yeah, illegal immigration, from what I can remember, is horrible there. The state income taxes is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Did you call ICE?
I ain't calling
You let him
anybody.
go? Because that sounds rehearsed. No speaking English. And he walks over and he's like, he bought it.
It happens that often.
Hey, Carl, look what he said.
Yes. I'm not going to fall for a banana, no tailpipe. Well, no speaking habla español. By the way, hey, you guys are wearing the 1776 shirts. I know you guys have your...
perfect.
We are also doing a promo at crowdershop.com.
Boom.
All of our tees, tanks, hats, they're $17.76 up until July 4th.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Which is not, it's none of that Gildan crap that's just all.
No.
It's like wearing, the Da Vinci
Sackcloth.
Code burlap sack. We do the blend.
Burlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
guys have the nice merch too. So it matters, right? It should be softer, should
Yeah.
fit right. Okay.
It's good quality.
Are we going on to Call of Duty now, or are we going on to the COVID bioweapon?
Call of Duty.
All right.